Political Insiders, Tony May and Charlie Giroux, join us in studio. Guys, thanks for being here. Happy Labor Day to you.
And to you.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Polls have certainly changed in the presidential race.
Yeah.
Charlie, I'm looking at you because it was the summer of Trump. It doesn't seem to be quite so one-sided in all the polls now, though.
And it will tighten. There are a lot of candidates on the Republican side, all of them in their own right, very, very capable. The debate coming up next week will really be an opportunity for Republican primary voters, particularly in those early states, to take a much closer look at the candidates, scratch beneath the surface a little bit, and see what they really like.
A lot of folks now pinpointing Ben Carson as a front runner.
It's going to be really interesting to watch this Republican debate to see how the not front runners treat Donald Trump. Last debate, first debate we had, they were all sort of kindly towards him because they didn't think he was going to last. Now I think they're worried. I think we're going to see some attack dog status. And I just want to point out that Pennsylvania should be proud that John Kasich, born in Pennsylvania, but now the governor of Ohio, is coming up strong in the polls, particularly in New Hampshire.
Tony, we have to talk about your party, though, the Democrats, because Bernie Sanders pulling ahead of Hillary Clinton now.
Well,
is Hillary in trouble?
Well, I think Hillary faces the same problem that most of the Republican candidates have, which is she spent most of her life in Washington, D.C., as part of the inside of the Beltway. She's got to overcome that. Bernie, even though he has been in the Senate for 2 terms, is the proverbial outsider because he's a socialist.
Fits right in for you, Tony.
My kind of guy.
Vice President Joe Biden was in Pennsylvania celebrating Labor Day. Is that a precursor to maybe what he's going to do?
I think it is. The wheels continue to fall off the Hillary bus. The problem for her is that people simply don't trust her. And now the stories that are going to be coming out about the emails, in particular Benghazi and all these other scandals that have come along the way, play right into that narrative, right into that mindset that people already have, that she's not trustworthy. And I think that's a real problem for her. And as a result, you're going to see Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, perhaps others, begin to ascend in the Democratic ranks.
Okay, we
Too soon to write her off.
Too soon to write her off.
I'm not writing her off, but I think she's got trouble.
Talk about the Pennsylvania budget. Over the weekend, I talked to some people.
Oh, well.
A lot of people lining up on both sides of this thing, but say that neither side appears to be compromising at all.
I think that's a fair observation, yes.
Do you think that's affected Governor Wolf's popularity?
I think again, the more we appear in Harrisburg to be like Washington, the worse off our public officials will be perceived.
We talked yesterday about possible stopgap.
I think stopgaps are likely, but then again, if the legislature passes stopgaps, will the governor veto them as he did the budget? I think Tony's right, by the way. The more we appear like Washington, it's going to be increasingly a pox on all of your houses from the public. But I think it is important to keep in mind that the legislature did its job, passed a budget. Tom Wolf decided to veto it in toto rather than using his line item powers, which every president since Franklin Roosevelt has wished they had but doesn't have, and most governors do. It was a golden opportunity for him to do the right thing and to really move the discussion down the lane. Instead, we're stalled.
Okay.
All right, guys.
We're out of time. You can catch our Political Insiders every Tuesday right here on CBS 21 News at 5:30.
Join us Sunday mornings at 11:30 for CBS 21's Face the State, right after CBS's Face the Nation.